I can
Davey.
hear you all.
Shady?
Yep.
Is that Shady or Davey?
Davey's here.
Shady?
Shady's here.
Alright, Phoenix is here. Waylon.
Present.
Fantastic. Wade.
Hello.
And Chad.
Oh, yeah.
Alright. I appreciate all of you for being here. We're going to try to fly through this as quick as possible. I've done 2 meetings in the last week, Dirt and our ARCA series, our rookie series. They both went very well. This is kind of the one that is a little bit longer than all of them. I don't mean long as in 3 hours, but we'll do it the best we can. We have made a few tweaks from last year, and I'm sure you're all eager to hear them. Okay? I would like to state everything that comes out of my mouth tonight in terms of league related is subject to change, okay? So don't hear something and think, oh, that sucks, I'm not racing, because I know there's many people that hear something and they're like, well, that sucks, I'm totally not doing that now. As always, everything is subject to change. Yes, we have changed a few things that some people are going to be like, well, why'd you change that, Mystic? We always change, well, when we change something, we have the vision that we could make it better. We don't just change things to change things. We always have the vision that we can make it even better. I know the saying, if it's not broke, then don't change anything at all. But obviously, I've been guilty of changing things in the past, and it totally backfired. But if you know me, if it does backfire, I'll be happy to listen to everyone cuss me out, and I will change it back to the way it was.
Mostly consisting of 100 I told you so.
Cuss you out, hold on. Go ahead.
So if you hear anything that you don't like tonight in terms of rules, something new or whatever, and you don't like it, rather than calling me an asshole, which I know I already am, you gotta tell me,
That ain't gonna change.
we'll work through it, okay? We are very happy with our rule book, and everyone will be getting a copy of the rule book. I will post a link tonight. Okay, I'm making a few tweaks. It's done. Okay, I promise it's done. There's a few tweaks. There's like a few spelling errors I gotta go back and fix, because if you know me, I'm like OCD to the max. So I'm gonna go back and fix them. But in terms of the book itself, it's done. So you'll be getting a link, and it's on Google Docs. So you'll just click on it and read it all you want. So as always, it's up to you, the drivers, to read the rule book. So if you have any questions in the season, you come to me, and you read it yourself. You don't have to come to me and ask anything. You can just read it yourself, okay? I can't read the book to you or for you. Is there any questions before we get started? Okay. Hello, Kime.
Hello. Just got up from a nap.
Oh, it's Keemtony.
You're good. Alright. But as always, I've said this many times, I thank everyone on a great 2022 season. Our 2022 season was our record season. It was unbelievable. For the most part, as what I wanted to accomplish, what me and Phoenix together wanted to accomplish, we did an excellent job. Obviously, there's always things that we didn't reach. There's things that we fell short of, which is normal. And there's goals that we have this year that we hope to reach. And we're not going to be able to reach them without you people. So you guys are the team players, and you guys are the ones that got to help us reach those goals. We have a great schedule this year. If you don't have that schedule, it's on Wix, or if you're like Phoenix and unable to access Wix, I will be happy to send one to you, which I'm still going to get you one, Phoenix. It's coming.
And the schedules too, please.
We begin January 30th. That is Speed Weeks. If you're unfamiliar with Speed Weeks, wherever it is, somewhere. Hello. Yes. Speed Weeks at Daytona. Speed Weeks, that whole week we will be racing. It's an exhibition from Monday through Friday. It's just an exhibition week. We did this last year. Everyone seemed to enjoy it very, very much. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. That is all exhibition. Okay, that is January 30th through whatever that Friday is, February, 4th. Okay, last
Third.
year we did just Cup cars. Okay, last year was just Cup cars, and we did like a 40-lap race every night. It was just short and sweet. Okay, right now we're thinking of leaning towards that as well. Okay, right now it's probably going to be that, but there's a chance we might switch it up and do like trucks one night, Xfinity one night, Cup one night, just to change things up. But I just want to let you know that Speed Weeks is January 30th. That's when our, technically our season begins. You don't have to race it if you don't want to. It's just an exhibition, but it's just like a preseason, like a mini preseason. That Saturday will be the Clash. The Clash is an invitational event. We don't know who is going to be invited. Usually we do past winners from the previous season, past champions. We do past pole winners. I don't know what the format was last year. It won't be everyone that can attend. Like real life, it depends on who we allow in the invitational. It's usually like 10 people. That will be that Saturday. And then that Sunday will be Daytona 500 qualifying. Okay? And I would like to state, if you're unfamiliar, if you've been living in a box, we're moving the dates from our races this year. Trucks will move from Friday to Tuesday nights. Xfinity will move from Saturdays to Thursday nights. And Cup will move from Sundays to Friday nights. But our season opener, the Daytona 500, will be on a Sunday afternoon. Okay? So I don't know if everyone has been aware of that yet. Our season opener for the Cup Series will be on a Sunday afternoons. After that, our Cup Series will be on Fridays. Okay?
Is that Sunday in February after Speed Weeks, or it'll be the following Sunday?
The first Sunday in February is Daytona 500 qualifying. It is the second Sunday. It's the 10th.
Gotcha.
Okay, there's full schedule. Like I said, I'll send it to you if you're unable to access Wix. If you don't have the Wix app yet, you need to download it. I will send you the link if you need it. Okay. But yeah, if you're not a fan of Daytona, I apologize, because we live for the first month, it feels like, at Daytona. As far as rules go, let's get into everything that we are going to be experiencing this year. Give me 1 second.
Can I say something real quick first?
Go for it.
Something you mentioned in the opening. Mystic mentioned that how he and I had worked on this. To be fair, usually the way it goes is Mystic comes up with an idea, we argue about it for like a week, it seems, and then he does it anyway. But Mystic, to be fair, has done like 95% of the actual work to get this season up and running, and he deserves the credit for it. I just chime in once in a while.
We have tried hard. I will never take full credit for anything. It's not just me and Phoenix either. It's multiple guys. I mean, I've asked Khan for their opinion. I've asked Trey, which I don't even think Trey's here. Multiple guys. All of you guys are team players. So just because I don't talk to you, outside of league racing in general, doesn't mean you are not important. All of you guys are important, and I respect all of your opinions. That's why I said the first thing here. If you don't like something, that doesn't mean I'm going to change it for one person. If we have 10 people that don't like things and 5 people that like that thing, obviously most of the time I'm going to lean to the 10 people that don't like it because it's a majority vote. But I always listen to opinions. Okay, I'm never going to ignore people. Even that one person that doesn't like it, I'm gonna always try to make everybody happy. It's an impossible thing, and it will never be done, but I always try to make everyone happy. Right. So like I said, there's going to be some things you don't like, and that's normal. You're not going to like everything that I do. You're not probably going to like everything that you hear in the rules, but it's just part of it. Okay. So let's get started. We have a great rule book for this year. I would like to shout out Phoenix, once again, is our technical coordinator for this year. He was last year, and what that means is he is our setup guy. So if you need setup help at any point, if he is nice enough, if you ask nice enough, he will help you. Okay? That's if he doesn't go on a 2-month leave like he did earlier in the season, which he really had no choice.
I'm also almost never on, so. I have a YouTube page which I have posted.
And it's not just Phoenix; it's any of these other guys. Wade, Kime, multiple guys that will help you, but Phoenix is our main technical coordinator. That's what we like to call him. I think it sounds better than setup guy. As far as race directors, I will say I will not be able to make every race, as I think everyone is used to this by now. But and this is subject to change on the fly. I will be the race director for the truck series. Phoenix will be the assistant. As far as Xfinity, we have Trey as the main race director and Kime as his assistant. Now that is subject to flip-flop on a race-by-race basis, depending, because those two are kind of in training. That's kind of why Kime is running his league, because I'm the one who kind of made him run that league. So he's doing a great job, by the way. So Trey is actually going to be the main Xfinity race director, and that includes why I'm there. So if I'm at an Xfinity race, Trey will probably be calling the shots. So you won't get all of my, force on you every race. Most people are probably happy about that. And as far as Cup goes, it'll be me and Phoenix once again. And obviously that won't be the case every race because, I will miss a race here and there. May be a case where Phoenix has to miss a race. Same with Kime and Trey. So our alternate race directors will be Wade, Waylon, and Chad. Those three. Okay? And those are subject to change as well. Okay? So we have those three in the book as of now. As far as our appeal penalty voting panel, because we will be doing a voting committee on all penalties this year. You'll learn more about that later. It'll be consisting of myself, Phoenix, Waylon, Kime, and Trey, those five. Okay, and you're probably wondering, well, what are we voting on penalty-wise? You'll figure that out later. Okay, so once again, myself, Phoenix, Waylon, Kime, and Trey. If you forget all that, it's all in the rule book. First thing when you load it up. Okay. Alright, first thing. If you haven't figured out, we are doing a licensing system this year. Alright, it doesn't necessarily affect you guys as it does the rookies. And nobody here is a rookie. Alright? The only one that would be closest thing to a rookie here is Davey Allison. But Davey Allison ran enough races barely just to run this year. Alright? But he is not a rookie. But the licensing system does still have effect on all of us. And what our licensing system is next year, obviously for the rookies, we have a whole new series called the ARCA series, if you haven't heard. It's the trucks and the Xfinity, which run on Monday nights. We actually had our first race last night. Went very well, very smooth. Those guys are in testing. If they do good, obviously they'll get promoted to where we are, to where all of you guys are. It'll go by series kind of deal, to where if they do good in ARCA, they'll get promoted to the truck league here. And if they do good in trucks, they'll get promoted to Xfinity, and then obviously they'll get promoted to Cup. So obviously our licensing system goes, if you have an A license, alright, if you have an A license, you are in the Cup Series, you can run everything you want. Obviously not ARCA. None of us can run ARCA, that's where the rookies are. If you have an A license, you can run Cup, Xfinity, and Truck. If you have a B license, you can run Xfinity and Truck. And if you have a C license, you can run Truck Series only. That is the way our licensing systems work. Obviously, D license, aka the rookie license, is for our ARCA rookies only. This works for our NASCAR league only. It doesn't work for our IndyCar or anything like that, just our NASCAR league. The reason it affects you guys is because, kind of like suspensions work, if you get punished in a race, we have we have the right to take away your license in a particular series. If you've been acting up in the Cup Series, we will demote your license from an A to a B license. Alright, so therefore, you now only have the right to run Xfinity and Truck. And you have to rework your way back to Cup. Does that make sense? So I just want everyone to understand that. So it kind of works like suspensions, but it's a little bit different. So everyone, obviously, if you don't get penalized, you don't have to worry about it.
I do have a question.
Go ahead.
So, like, are we grandfathered in? Like, us that's been here for a couple of years, or we got all
You
the
guys aren't
licenses?
rookies.
Right.
Yes.
Drunk Chad is still banned though.
Yeah, it depends. Sober Chad is good. Drunk Chad, no.
Okay. So
You guys
that's all I want to know. Okay.
For those of you that are still concerned which series that you're supposed to be in, if you haven't ran a while, obviously guys like Phoenix and Kime that support the league 100%, you guys have an A license. Those of you that ran, just a handful of races, you're most likely going to start in Xfinity. You can come talk to me. I will make sure to adjust that with you. I will work with you. But this is the way we're going to do it for everyone. I know some people just don't agree with it, but it's just the way we're going to do it. We've never done it this way, but we're going to do it. And it's subject to change. Go ahead.
On this subject, all the exhibition races that are coming up before the season, will that have a bearing on people's status going into the actual start of the season? Negative or positive?
Yes.
So show up.
Yes. Yeah, the exhibition races, just because they're exhibition races, you're still racing in an MRL sanctioned race. It's not points, but it's still under the Mystic Racing League banner. So, I mean, yeah, you don't have to show up, but it's good if you show up and do well because, hey, we're still going to be watching you. So, it's up to you, though. It's up to you. If you want to wait until the actual point season starts, that's up to you. We won't think anything less of you. But if you show up in the exhibition races and do well, then, that's good for you. And I will say, I'm saying this, and I haven't said this, if you don't have a Cup license and A license, I will still let you race in the exhibition Speed Weeks races that are Cup, okay? So, like for me, if I just have a B license, I can't run a Cup points race, but on Speed Weeks, if we're running Cup, I'm allowed to run that Cup exhibition race. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. For Speed Weeks only. So yeah, you're encouraged to show up during Speed Weeks for them 5 days. But yeah, all of you should have a number registered already in whatever series. Like I said, if you're still confused in which license you have, most of you here have an A license because you guys have supported a while. I know a few of you just came on board at the end of last year. A few of you hit or miss most of the time. But I'll work with you. And like I said, all you got to do is show up and support and, you don't got to win races. It's not about winning races. It's just about doing well. Be consistent. Even if you're finishing 7th every week, if you're doing well, having fun, and you have a good attitude and help everyone out, and you're willing to be helped out, you're willing to learn, that's all we ask for. You don't got to go out there and win. That's all you got to take. But that's our licensing system. As far as event registration, we're going to do event registration basically the same way this year. When I post the schedule in the chat, that's when you can register for the next race. You'll type your name and all that good stuff. But really no changes on that. That's really what I've kind of adjusted to in all my leagues. Dirt, we do it now. Everything else, we do it now. So whenever I post the schedule, they'll all be coming at different times this year because usually all 3 series are on the same weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Trucks is on Tuesday, Xfinity's on Thursday, Cup's on Friday, so truck schedule might be coming out on the day of the Cup race, so it's all going to be different now, so everyone's really got to pay attention because by the time the Cup race is done on Friday, you only have basically 2 days. You got 3, but 2 days basically to work on a truck setup before the next race, so it's all kind of spread out now. So by the time the Cup race is done and Cup points go up, it's going to be time to post the truck schedule. So registration will open when the schedules go up. And like I said, if you're running all, you'll post your gamer tag and just put all. If you're running Xfinity and Cup, gamer tag and just put Xfinity and Cup beside it. Same way as last year. All of our events will be streamed on our YouTube this year. We've already started that. Our YouTube, Mystic Racing League, Mystic Space Racing Space League, Mystic Racing League, just like you see. That's our YouTube. All of our events will be streamed. If I miss a race and I can't stream on our YouTube, I will take someone else's stream and post it on my YouTube. So make sure all of our races do get posted on our YouTube. So everyone is subject to being posted on our YouTube. Just let everyone know. I know some people out there are picky. Our code of conduct, everyone knows this, our code of conduct. We will be a little bit more stricter on this year, but we have been pretty hammered down on this in the past. Everyone be respectful at all times. I know we joke and laugh and have fun in these races. That's still going to happen. We're still going to have a good time. We're not going to be bare bones serious, but we're still going to have a good time. But just know when you do take things too far and make fun about people's race and things like that. We've had a few people have done that in the past, and they are not with us no more. So, just reminder to be respectful. You can joke, but just know when you cross that line, there will be consequences. Also, we do require everyone to race at 100% at all time. That does involve strategic races. Strategic races, I know they're a big part of our league, whether you love them or you hate them. I understand they happen, but as far as racing itself, 100%. So if you're just half-assing it, you are subject to being parked. Okay? That's a real rule, by the way. So 100% for all of us. So if you're just not having a good time and you're just lollygagging and doing donuts in the grass, that's obviously not 100%. So everyone, give it your all when you show up.
Memory.
Question.
Yes.
What about when you're running 50% just because you're saving gas?
Well, I just said that involves strategic races, so that includes the strategy involved.
Okay.
You know, like in real life, they save gas sometimes. That still falls into the 100% rule, because you're trying 100% to win the race by saving fuel. Okay. Is there any questions on anything I've went over so far? We really haven't gotten to the actual race stuff yet. All right, vehicle eligibility. Everyone knows to be eligible for points in any race, you must cross the start-finish line. Obviously, if you lag out or blow up or Wi-Fi goes out, whatever, but you have to cross the start-finish line in the actual race to be awarded points. If you get into the lobby, but you're starting in the back, but you do not cross the start-finish line, you do not award points. That's our rule, okay? Even though you made it to the race, you have to actually cross the start-finish line to get points for that race. Race control. This is something new we're doing this year, okay? You may have heard it earlier when I said, you know, race control and assistant race control. You may be thinking assistant race control. Each event in 2023 in Mystic Racing League, NASCAR, we will require 2 race directors, okay? Usually in the past it's just been me, and if it's not me, it's been whoever else is in charge. This year we will have 2 race directors, okay? For example, like the Truck Series, I will be the head race director when I'm here. Phoenix will assist. All the calls will go through the main race director. So when I'm here, all the calls will still go through me. But Phoenix, as the assistant, or whoever the assistant is on that day, is still encouraged, recommended. He is still able to make, you know, relay calls to me. So if he sees someone that doesn't exit the pit lane properly or hits another driver, whatever the case may be, he can still relay that to me like a snitch. Okay, we're gonna call him a snitch. All right.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Great to get stitches.
Snitch
Get the
ass.
assistant race director killed.
Yeah, in the past, like I would say something and bring it to Mystic's attention, and Mystic would make the call. So the distinction this year is.
You was talking?
No, I was asking.
Oh,
I was
but
saying we did it one way in the past, so the difference this year is, and that was Q. That was a cue. That was your mark.
But
You blew it.
like I said, the assistant race director, he is encouraged, if he sees anything, to relay it to me. I will make the call. So yes, it's like a snitch, and we are encouraging that assistant race director to make a call, because obviously I can't see everything. The main race director, one person can't see everything, because if I'm running in turn 3 all by myself because I spun out, we know that happens a lot, and the whole field is entering turn 1, and there's a hell of a wreck, how am I going to see what happened? So we are making sure we have a second set of eyes. So if I ask Phoenix what happened, I'm expecting Phoenix to be 100% honest with me. And that goes for anyone else. So if like Trey and Kime are doing the Xfinity race, Trey asks Kime, or if Kime's in charge and he asks Trey, we're expecting 100% honesty. So, and you relay what happened, and if Bob wrecked Tim, then obviously Bob gets a penalty. That's what we're hoping for. 2 sets of eyes is better than 1.
So are you saying this year you're on the front stretch, I'm on the back stretch scenario? On the back stretch, coming out of two cars wreck and spin. I can call caution, or I have to tell you list like last year, and then you call the caution.
No, all the calls still go through the main race control.
So nothing has changed.
No.
Okay.
Just letting everybody know.
All right. Is there any more questions on that?
No, but when you get to exiting pit road, I want to say something when we get to that point.
All right.
I think Kyle should present that part.
Nah, he's got the restart procedures. All right. As far as bounties, this year we're going to implement another type of bounty. It's going to be a points bounty. All right, points bounty. I know everyone is familiar with our playoff bounty, and we're still keeping our playoff bounty. For our non-playoff drivers, you'll be able to race for money. That has not changed. So that'll still be the same. Do I need to go over that? Does anyone need a refresher? Okay. Non-playoff drivers, you race for money. If you're in the playoffs, you race for the championship. Once you get eliminated from the playoffs, you can then race for the bounty. All right, that's the same thing from last year. We're still keeping that. As far as points bounties, if a competitor wins 2 races in a row at any point during the regular season, 2 races in a row, we will place a bounty on them. All right, it'll be a small bounty, maybe like 5 extra points, 10 extra points. We haven't determined the actual number yet. And obviously, if you beat that driver, the 3rd race, the winning driver will get the obviously winning points, and then the 5 or 10 extra bonus points we placed, the bounty points. And then, or if that bounty driver wins again that 3rd race, the points bounty will increase. It may go from 5 to 10, or 10 to 12, 10 to 15, whatever we decide. It won't be nothing too crazy. We're not going to probably put 20 points. We're probably not even going to put 15 points. It'll be something minimal, all right? Just a small bonus. But something for you guys to chase. All the competitors in the field are eligible to collect the bounty. If multiple drivers beat the defender, the bounty defender, it'll go obviously to the winning driver. So if 3 drivers finish ahead of me, because I've won 2 races in a row, it'll go to the winning driver. In order to collect the points bounty, you cannot interfere with the race. You can't wreck him. And the defender cannot have any harm done to the race by another competitor. Like, he can't get wrecked, like I said. He has to finish the race under his own power. And he can... Hold on. And he cannot lag out of the events. Cannot lag out of the events. That's what we put. Alright, now if he leaves, like pulls a fast one on you, that'll be different, okay? He has to send a picture. If he purposely leaves the event, it still can be collected. This points bounty will not be eligible in the playoffs. So no points bounty in the playoffs. It'll just be the playoff money bounty that we have. Is everyone good with that? All right. As far as our next subject, interviews, something we are doing this year since we are broadcasting all the races. Interviews. I believe my boy Shady has done me a solid. I really appreciate Shady and all his hard work. He has hooked me up with a commentating crew for our 2023 season, and most of our races, not all of our races, but most of them. But regardless if it's them or if it's me, we are going to do our best to do interviews after each race. Okay? Whether it's the top 3, top 5, top 100, doesn't matter. Most of the time it'll be top 3, okay? We're just going to do it like everyone else does, top 3. After each event, you're required to give me an interview, The only way you can get out of doing an interview is if you have a very good reason, okay? If your house is on fire, if you have to work, whatever the case may be, you better have a good reason, because I would like to interview my top 3 after each race.
Got a question about that.
Go ahead.
If say around tornado season, you're under like,
Jeez.
you know,
If
Get
you
an
made it to
extra
the
bungee cord.
if you
That
made it
sounds
to the
like a
end of the
very good
race with the
season.
Tornado, you might as well stick around for another 2 minutes for an interview.
Yeah.
you know how crazy it gets around.
Well,
Oh, my
yeah,
God.
like I said, if you made it 400 miles with a tornado in your area, you can stay for 2 minutes. I mean, you ain't gonna be able to get bunkered up in 2 minutes anyway.
Okay.
There's your answer. But yes, I would like to be a little serious on the interview, so don't go out there saying, well, that motherfucker's done wrecked me, fuck him, fuck his mom. I don't want to hear all that. Okay, I would like us all to be a little professional. That's the way I would like for it to be. So I don't want to hear your frustrated. You can be frustrated. I'm not asking you guys to be robots, but I don't want to hear a Wade type interview. So Wade, be a little bit more mannerful.
So example would be like, oh no, I got an example. So yeah, I'm kind of upset with old Wade Gaming Racer over there with that Oreo cookie car. But you know what? My Tastic 101 Kit Kat bar car was running good today, and I'm still pissed off at Wade.
I heard 0 cuss words. That's not a good example.
Yeah.
No,
Alright,
no.
anyways,
That stupid motherfucker.
we'll get you after.
I thought you wanted to be professional.
Save it. That was the professional one. That was all right. Yeah, I thought you was doing a Wade one. Go ahead. That's just you. That's your personality. That's okay.
Just called Tastic a robot.
No, he called himself a robot.
Tastic
He
after
really
winning a
asked
race.
the question.
Tastic after winning a race. I'm so excited.
Moving on. So I would like the top 3 most of the time, unless I inform you otherwise, okay? If it's a big race or something, I may change it. Now, once we get to the playoffs, it may be a little different. I may ask for the top 5. I may ask for the top 3 in a random. That may be in any race. If we have a great battle for 7th, I may ask for the top 3 and the 7th, okay? It may just be different, but most of the time it'll be the top 3. So just hang around. I did add any driver that is required to do the interview most of the time, top 3 or that random or whoever. If I say your name, I need an interview, and you leave before that interview, you are subject to a penalty. Okay? So just a reminder on that. Okay? Unless you give me a legitimate reason that I can believe, then you are
Preferably
subject to
before
a
the
penalty. Okay? So yeah, before the race would be nice. It'd be more believable. Alright, so interviews. Remember that, people. Alright, our lobby settings for the season. And this will be all series. Alright, our draft influence will be on high this season at all 1.5 mile tracks and up. Last year we ran it on normal. This year we're running on high. This goes for all intermediate tracks and up. Intermediate is 1.5 miles and higher. That does not count for the road courses. Road courses will still be on normal. Okay? Any track smaller than 1.5 miles, which is Darlington, Gateway, and smaller, it'll still be on normal. Tire and fuel will be 2 times wear in every single event this year. Okay? 50% event, 100% event, 500% event, does not matter. 2 times tire and fuel wear. Driving aids off as normal. Custom setups are allowed. Damage on, and we will run stages in every series. Stages are returning.
Game stages, you mean, not just...
Game stages, yes, thank you. I'll specify that. Game stages, not my stages. Everyone hated my stages for some reason. I'm sorry you people can't count.
It's fine. I kind of got confused most of the time.
Yep.
I just went with it.
Yep. I'll bite my tongue. Anyways, moving on. Alright, going into race day procedures. Something new we're doing this year, and I won't be the one in control of this, but those of you early birds that like to practice before an event, you may enter the NASCAR chat on your own. Yes, Mystic said you can enter the NASCAR chat on your own.
Shit.
Yes, without any punishment. 3 hours before each event. Okay? I will post. It'll be added on each schedule, so don't go. When can I enter the NASCAR chat? It'll be posted on each schedule. So if you want to enter the NASCAR chat and practice with other people that are racing, you can enter the NASCAR chat 3 hours before each event. As far as I know, our chat party is going to open still 1 hour before each race. So, for example, I'll give you an example. If our race starts at 7 p.m., our party chat will open up at 6 p.m. That means you can get into the lobby and practice at 4 p.m. You can join at 4 p.m. and practice your little heart out until the official chat opens up at 6 p.m. Is everyone clear with that?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to, but you can join the NASCAR chat. It'll be good. It's optional. It's an optional thing. I will be there. Sometimes I may join, but that doesn't mean type in my NASCAR chat. I'll still get mad if you type in my NASCAR chat. You can just join the chat. Don't type. Okay. Drivers meeting will be before qualifying this year instead of after. Phoenix, go ahead and celebrate.
Oh shit! I'm absorbing.
Yep. What the hell is Mystic doing? He's sick.
Yes.
But drivers meeting, we're going to shift it before qualifying. We're just going to go ahead and get all the information out and then qualify and race. Okay.
It'll be more like how Kime is doing it.
Yeah, I'm taking a note out of Kime's book.
Gotcha.
My hero.
Good job.
But about 10 to 15 minutes after the official chat opens, just like last year. But we're going to do it before qualifying, unless instructed otherwise. As far as qualifying goes, qualifying will basically be the same format. Group qualifying, just like last year. The percentage, aka laps, will determine off the track size. So if we're at Martinsville, we'll run a little bit smaller percentage. If we're at Talladega or Daytona, we'll run a little bit higher percentage. Same format though. If it's if it's a mile and a half or larger, if it's a mile and a half or larger, it'll go by a race. Okay, it'll be a race. If it's smaller than a mile and a half, it'll go off fast time. Okay, we're sticking to the same way. I think everyone really loved that format, and we're sticking to the same deal. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think actually last year we did 2 miles or bigger. This year we're limiting it to a mile and a half or bigger. Since that high draft will be on mile and a half, we'll increase the draft. So we're going to race on a mile and a half for qualifying. The only change, well actually 2 changes. The first change, each track for qualifying, just to speed up the process, we're going to do 2 groups on every track. Even if we have 16, even if we have 20 people show up, it'll be 2 groups on every track. Okay, so even if we're at Martinsville, it'll be 10 and 10. You guys have to race with each other, and so therefore, why can't you qualify with each other? Okay, so it'll be 2 groups every track. Now, if we have like 8 people, then we'll probably do 1 group, but therefore, 2 groups every track qualifying. We're still going to start 16 drivers. That has not changed. I know there was some talk about, you should probably up it to 20. Trust me, if the PlayStation chat would allow me to start 20 is probably the highest I would go. But unfortunately, I don't think they're going to up it to 20 anytime soon.
That was learned from hard experience.
I wouldn't go any higher than 20, though. I would go to 20 if they would move it.
Yeah.
But 16 is still a good number for us, and we still have great races. So 16, we're starting at 16. The other change in qualifying, if we have more than 16 show up and take time, we will lock the top 12 in on time, and positions 13 through wherever will have to run a last chance race. We did not do that last year. We just did it straight off times. So it's kind of like we're going back to 2021. We did this like early 2021. So it'll give you guys a second option to race your way in instead of just times alone, which is kind of better. So once again, if we have 17 drivers qualify, top 12 are locked in on times, and then 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17 will do a little short race to determine the final 4 spots. Does everyone understand that? Yep. And this will go for all tracks. So all tracks.
The person or people who don't get in on the last chance qualifier, will there be any consolation points awarded for attempting to qualify?
Yes. I was going to go over that once we got to the points, but I'll go ahead and answer that now. If you don't get in, like if you are that 17th guy that doesn't qualify in, you will still get points. I don't remember. I'll have to see when I get to the points. But you still get points. Don't worry. We're not going to just give you nothing, but we'll give you points. I've always given my guys points. If you support me, I'll support you.
Check.
All right. As far as, hang on. All right. As far as special events, we usually do our screenshot qualifying for those, like the Daytona 500. It'll be screenshot qualifying. We've did that, I think, every year since we've started this league, 2020, 21, 22, and it'll be no different this year. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, qualifying will open up the week before. It'll be open up for that one day. You have 24 hours to run your time. You'll screenshot your time and send it to me, and that's how you'll qualify. We won't get into a lobby or anything. You'll have 24 hours to run your fastest lap. Screenshot it when you can't get any faster and send it to me. That's how you'll qualify. That's how we'll qualify for the Daytona 500. And I know we only do it for a handful of events. We do it for the Dirt Derby. We do it for the Daytona 500. We do it for like one other event. I don't know how.
Do it every week.
Yeah, we used to do it every week back in 2020, but I don't know how we're going to qualify for mine and Shady's race, but we'll see. But this qualifying, everyone still likes it, but we usually do it just for the bigger upper races. As far as number of vehicles to start and needing a certain amount of vehicles before we cut the event, we've actually upped the number of vehicles to start this year. Okay, it used to be we needed 5 to start in every series. This year it's changed. As for the truck series, we need 6 vehicles to start. Okay, 6. It went from 5 to 6. Not a huge change, I know. If we have less than 9 in the trucks, we will cut the event to 50%. So 8. Okay. For the Xfinity series, we need 7 to start. 7. If we have less than 10, we will cut it to 50%. And for the Cup Series, we also need 7 to start. And if we have less than 12, we will cut it to 50% only if it was an advertised 100% race. If you haven't heard, most of our Cup races, like 90% of them, are going to be 50% this year. So that last part won't really affect anything. We'll only cut it to 50% if it was already supposed to be a 100% race. So we need at least 12 for that. And the reason I made that so high, obviously, because the 100% Cup races are so long. They're like 400 miles, and it just really sucks. I've really kind of learned my lesson with starting 100% Cup races with 9 people, and halfway through you have 5, and it really gets stale. So that's why I made that number really high. As for lagging out at the start of an event, kind of the same deal. Except instead of 3 attempts, we're going to go old school here, and we're going to make it 1 attempt. 1 attempt at a restart. That goes for the whole field. Okay? So you get... Go ahead.
Yeah, so what activates that we do? We back out and restart. No.
What do you mean? Someone lags out?
Yeah, well, give us an example. So how would we determine that we're gonna restart?
If somebody lags out before we take the green flag. Is that what you were looking for?
Yep, and that's the only circumstance.
Yep. If you know that rule from the past, I think in 2020 we've always had a rule. In 2020, I think it was 1 attempt, and then we changed it to 3, and we don't really use it anymore. So in order to save time, we're going to change it back to 1 attempt. Hopefully we don't use it at all. We don't want anyone to have internet troubles.
But we also had it up to lap 5 for somebody lagging out.
Yes, I think that was the original rule. Yeah. So if somebody lags out before we take the green flag, before the leaders hit the line, if the leaders hit the line, then the race is official, okay? The leaders only. If the leaders touch the line, the race is official. We will not back out, no matter if last place hasn't touched the line or not. All right, once the leaders hit that line, the race is a go. But if somebody lags out before that point, or lags out loading up the lobby, we will back out and pick you up. The whole group has one attempt. It's not one attempt per person, it's one attempt per group. Now, if you lag out on the second try loading up, we will not back out and pick you up. Okay? Does everyone understand that? All right.
And that's even if it's a different person.
Even if it's a different person. If I lag out on the first attempt, you'll back out, pick me up. And if Phoenix lags out on the second attempt, it's just tough luck. Okay? Same goes for everyone. Same goes for everyone. It's even across the board. All right. Our caution period. Caution period. Not much has changed with our manual caution procedure. I thought everyone did a great job last year. Between good and great, I'm not going to give you guys like an A+, but everyone did a good job. We did get better as the year went on. But there's always room for improvement. As always, caution comes out. We do not race back to the line. We slow down, get back in line, car length apart. I will let you know when pit road opens, all that good stuff. There's nothing new with that. Caution speed. The caution speed is labeled for each track in the rule book. So each track we go to, we have a caution speed. At Daytona, it'll be 70. Pit road during the caution period. Everyone knows I open up pit road. You do not pass getting on the pit road. If you stay out, keep it at that caution speed. All lap down vehicles get 1 lap back, just like last year. We will do things a little different in order than last year. Exiting pit road, same deal. You keep it on the apron all the way to the backstretch. Same way with green flag as well. The only change that we're doing under the caution period is once we hit 1 to go. Once we hit 1 to go, last year we gave the leader only the option to choose what lane. Okay, the leader only had the option to choose what lane he or she wanted to restart in, inside or outside. This year we are implementing a choose rule. A choose rule it's just like it sounds. If you watch real life NASCAR, it's, real life NASCAR. The whole field will have the option which line they would like to restart in, inside or outside. Now, what we have in the rule book is what we'll go by at the start of the season. When I signify 1 to go, whoever the race director is, hold on, I'm in the wrong section here. Drivers must make their lane choice clear by the start-finish line. Okay, I know there's no actual real-life cone on the track, but if you choose inside, you must go all the way to the bottom of the racetrack. Don't go in the grass, don't go in the apron, but all the way to the bottom of the racetrack. If you're going to choose the top, you must go all the way to the wall. This is before the start-finish line. If I signify myself that we're going to choose on the backstretch or another location, then I will do that myself. But in the rule book of now, at every track, we're going to do it at the start-finish line because it's an actual line. If you are in the middle of the track and have not made your choice clear by the start-finish line, you will start in the back. That is a real-life rule. You must make your choice clear before the start-finish line. So if I'm choosing the bottom, go all the way to the bottom. Go all the way to the yellow line, white line, whatever color the line is at that track. If you're choosing the top, go all the way to the wall. Don't hit the wall, but go all the way to the wall. Okay? Does everyone understand that?
Yes. Question?
Go.
For the race director, then, you have to give people enough time to choose, so you can't, call 1 lap to go, 2 car lengths before the white line. That doesn't give everybody time. So you got to call that, turn 4? So,
no, I'm talking about 1 to go, before we go green.
Yeah, but the race director calls that.
Yes, I'll call it, in turn 2, we're going 1 to go this time.
Right. Just making that clear.
Yes, yeah, I'll call one to go way before that. Like, we're coming to one to go, choose this time, choose this time. That's what
Because
I'll say.
sometimes, there are things that are going on, and it takes up the time on a lap, especially, like, say, at Martinsville, and then, we get to the line, and it's like, oh, one to go, but we don't have enough time to choose the thing, so then we wait until we get past the line, then call one to go, and then, okay, etc.
I know there's sometimes I say one to go right at the line, but this will differ my when I say one to go. I'll make sure I give everyone time.
Also, I'm just saying for the rest of us, so it can add an extra lap to whatever caution that we're doing, simply because we need to give everybody time to make that choice properly.
Yes, correct. But yes, I think this has an opportunity to change some races, like if it's a late race and we're at a track like Martinsville, for example, like Phoenix said, and obviously most of the people are going to choose the bottom, and you're in eighth, and only one guy chooses the top, and you want to be that second guy that chooses the top. Well, you just went from 8th to 4th, so I think this has a real good chance to change some races. So I'm excited. If everyone does it the right way, I'm very excited for it. So it's very simple. You just choose your line when called, inside all the way to the bottom or outside all the way to the top, and then it's just a normal restart from there. I will say, drivers, if you are involved in the previous caution, or you are a lucky dog, if you're one lucky dog, or if there's 5 lucky dogs, if you are a free pass vehicle or you are involved in the caution, you are not allowed to take the choose. You must start on the inside. The choose rule will not be in effect at road courses or super speedways. So once we hit Daytona, we will not do the choose. Okay, that's a real life rule as well.
Did you just say start on the inside for people in the caution? I thought you meant
shouldn't it be the longest line?
Back. Yeah, end of the longest line.
No, they start on the inside.
Oh, okay.
They start on the inside. So if the inside's the shortest line, they start on the inside.
Okay.
It's everyone's prerogative. If they go to the top, they start on the inside.
No, I understand. I thought the rule was end of the longest line in real life, so that's what confused me.
But like I said, no choose rule at super speedways or road courses. So the first time we choose will be the second race of the season, which is, I think, whatever we go to. I don't know. As always, initial start and restart procedure. The leader will say go inside the restart zone. That has not changed. I think that's the best way we can really do it. First line, you can say it as early as the first line. If you have it set up by the second line, the second place man can go. No passing before the start-finish line. You can't change lanes, anything like that. Same way as last year. Lap vehicles. Same deal as last year. Stay consistent with your line. Both parties are required to work together. If I'm the leader working with the lap car, tell them where you want them, inside or outside. Let them know I'm coming up on you. Don't wait till you're at their bumper to say something. Make sure you communicate with my lap cars. Let's get a little better on that. We didn't have really too many issues last year. If you lag out during the event, if you lag out during the event, you must send a screenshot.
On the lap car thing, but the lap car does not have to do what the leader says. The lap car just has to communicate with the leader so that there is no question that the leader has a lane to get by.
Yes. Yes. Lap cars, you do have a right to race for your lap, but obviously if you were just slower than the lead group or leader catching you or whatever, then you need to yield. If you do not yield for faster traffic and you are a hazard in the way, you'll be subject to a penalty.
Question.
Go. Of course, you'd ask this.
Well, no, I'm just saying, is there a question? Is there an issue for more than one lap down? Like, if you're racing for your lap, I get that, but if you're like 2 laps down, you should just yield to the leader, correct?
It doesn't matter if you're 10 laps down. If you're faster than the leaders, you can race for your lap back. But if you are not pulling away from the leaders and if you are holding them up, let's say, if you're holding them up and therefore you are just, I don't know, like I said, being a hazard. Definition, what I mean being a hazard, if you're not willing to yield when asked to yield, then you need to yield. That's the best way to put it. Yeah. But like I said, I give everyone the right to race for their lap back. But some days it's not your day. It happens to all of us.
You're basically talking like old tires at like Martinsville or
Yeah, I mean,
Bristol or
that's
something
usually
where
how
it's
it
just
ends
very
up.
tight tracks, and then you
Most of the
really
time
need
when-
the guy to just move over a little bit to get past them.
Correct.
Yeah, but my question was just like in general, like if you know you're already in sequence with everybody else and you're 2 laps down, don't hound the leader.
Huh.
Yeah.
I mean, remember, manual caution, you'll get your lap back. You don't have to be the first car lap down.
Yep.
Lagging out during the event. A lot of you guys just forget we have this rule, but remember, when you lag out during an event, if you want full points, like full race points, you must screenshot saying that you lagged out of the event. We must be able to see that you lost connection. Okay? We're not saying you're lying or anything, but that's our rule. If you lag out and we don't get a screenshot by the end of the race, then you will get half points. Okay? That's just the way our rule has been. We started this rule last year. Only a few people did it, and it hurt a lot of you guys lagging out. So make sure you please remember that. We don't want anyone to lag out in the first place, but if you lag out, immediately take a screenshot and send it directly to me on PlayStation saying you lagged out. That way you can still get full points.
Or wherever you finished.
Double yellow line. Everyone knows the double yellow line is in effect for Talladega and Daytona. Don't go below it. Okay, simple as that. Road courses don't run off the track unless you can't drive like me.
Can you repeat that last one?
I know there's self-explanatory.
Hold on, I'm getting a sip of water.
We have a video of Ohio.
I'm gonna play a Caleb here. Can I ask a question and can you repeat that?
Road courses, it's different at every road course. I will let you know what corners that you have to come to a stop to, what you're good, what you're bad. Everyone knows, don't cut the corner. If you cut certain sections like bus stops or chicanes, you come to a stop. So don't do that.
You mean don't get wrecked by Wade and get a penalty?
There we go.
And the fight's on.
Official completion of the race will be run until the leader has completed the race distance. Everyone knows this. If the race has to be halted due to adverse, unforeseen circumstances, it'll be rescheduled. If it's not reached the halfway mark, and we've only had to do this, I think, twice in our league's history, but we do have this rule just in case. For whatever reason, if we hit a mark that we just, I don't know how to explain it. If we just can't get the race in, but we haven't hit the halfway mark, due to the percentages on the game that it will allow us, we won't be able to restart on the exact lap, but we'll restart close to how many we had left. If we're not halfway done, we'll restart the race at a time that I say, that hopefully everyone can make it to. If the race has to be halted and it's past halfway, it'll be deemed official.
Like the fluky lobby race in Talladega?
Yes. No, that one wasn't official. The one at Jaywood, y'all
Yeah.
thought Jaywood one, that one wasn't official because you only
Well, I mean,
had-
but that's something.
Yeah, that was an
happened.
example.
What about the David Wheel race? That should have been canceled.
The which one?
The California David versus from the back.
Oh. No.
Oh God! Get out of the way! Classic.
I gained 7 spots for just getting out of the way.
I still have that video. I was right behind him, too.
As far as car numbers go, like I said, all of you folks in here should have a car number in whatever series you're running, Trucks, Xfinity, and Cup. We do not run custom numbers. We all run preset game numbers. Everyone knows this. If you need a number, come see me. The number registration policy is basically the same as last year. If you miss 2 or more races in a row, you will lose your number, and we'll have to repick once you come back.
What's available?
If it becomes a habit of you not wanting to attend races, then we may have to just talk about it. But
What about us that said we were part-time to start the season?
Yeah, you
moving
have
on.
Yeah, I thought you had a rule for that.
Nope, I changed it.
Oh,
No.
okay.
All right, getting into the playoff stuff. Playoff eligibility and waivers. Good stuff. Hot and spicy stuff now. All right, in order to be eligible for the postseason, obviously you win a race or be in that top points boundary when it comes time. This season we will take 8 into the truck postseason, 10 into the Xfinity postseason, and 12 into the Cup postseason. Last year we took 10 in each. All right, so all of you are highly recommended to support all of it. So 8 for trucks, 10 for Xfinity, and 12 for Cup. Obviously, if there's more winners than what's said on the board, usually that happens in trucks, we will go off points alone.
With ties being decided by wins and such?
If there's a tie, it'll go by, I think it's at the bottom here in points fund. I think it'll go off first place finishes, second place finishes, third place finishes.
Check.
That's how we'll determine.
We had to do that one year, I remember.
In order to be eligible for the postseason, you must qualify for at least 70% of regular season events. I know 70% sounds like a big number, but it can easily be done. And you have to stay top 16 in the regular season standings. For trucks, that's 11 of 19 events. For Xfinity, that's 15 of 25 events. And for Cup, that's 15 of 25 events. Okay, so it's not hard to do, folks. Just show up. For waivers and trucks, you will get 3 waivers. Xfinity, you'll get 4 waivers, and Cup, you'll get 5 waivers. What waivers are is if you have an emergency or whatever, not necessarily work, but emergencies, something come up, you just can't make it, whatever. You just, whatever the case may be, just mainly emergencies. That's what we kind of put them in there for. We don't really have to use them much, but waivers. Point is, show up when you can.
Now, what if you got a situation on a regular race? Say, I don't know if you set the times yet, but say like we're opening party at 8:30 on every Tuesday night for truck, and for whatever reason you're not going to be home till like 9:15. So what I would do is I would message Mystic as soon as I found that out and see if something can be done. Do we still have that option this year, or your schedule's going to be more set in stone?
If you're going to be 10 or 15 minutes late, we will wait on you. We do always have a 10 to 15 minute window that we wait. Usually no more than 15 minutes. So, but you got to let me know. I mean, if you don't let me know, if you don't let me know anything, and then we go green 10 laps, you show up in a party. I mean, hey guys, sorry, I'm 5 laps late. I mean, we could have waited on you if you said something. So, but we always have a little 10, 15 minute window that we'll wait. It's an unwritten rule, but we always do that, kind of a courtesy rule. We do it for everyone. But if you're going to be late,
he tells the race directors 5 minutes though, just so you know.
Yeah, Phoenix, they have 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So, but if you're going to be about 10, 15 minutes max late, then we'll push it back and wait. We'll kind of hang out for a second, but really no more than 15 minutes. But we'll wait on you. And you got to let me know though.
Yeah, my point is, if you know, the day after the last week's race that you have the situation, that's when you tell Mystic. As soon as you know, because the earlier he knows, the more we can accommodate things, especially if it's before he posts the schedule for that night's racing. Right?
Correct. All right, so moving on. Once postseason competition begins, all the playoff drivers' points will reset, and then the playoff points that they accumulated during the regular season will be added on. You will earn points the same way in the playoffs as you did the regular season, same as always, and then you race in a round format, same as always. How the truck playoffs will go, it'll go from 8 to 6 to 4. Xfinity will go from 10, 8 to 4, and then Cup it'll go from 12, 10, 8 to 4.
Hut.
No bonus points awarded in the championship race, everyone knows. And that's all. Is there any questions on the playoffs?
That's it.
Okay. Let's get into the teams. All right. Let's get into the teams. All right, team construction. Last year we attempted to do teams, and not a lot of people bid on it. So this year, everybody will be on a team. Okay, everybody will be on a team. You can do teams of 2, teams of 3, or teams of 4. Okay? Yes, you can do teams of 4. That's what I wrote down. Yes. Okay? So, after tonight, you may submit your teams, and the teams will be different in each series. So, I could have a team of 4, me, Chad, Kime, and Gunner, and Trucks, and in Xfinity, it could be me, Shady, Phoenix, and Tasik. I mean, it could be whatever you want. You don't have to run a team of 4. You can just do a team of 2. You may be thinking a team of 4 would be better than a team of 2, but I'll tell you why it will be not. Okay? All right. What's funny?
Continue.
All drivers constructing a team. Obviously, you submit your roster. You have until the season opener in each series. So I think that's the first. That's February 7th for trucks, that Tuesday, and then February 9th. No, February, whenever that Tuesday is. You got until like the first weekend of February to submit your team. So you got a while. But I would like to have them as quickly as possible. All right.
Now,
also,
so
let
what
me know.
you're saying is that nobody can run individually.
Nobody
must
runs
be on a team.
individually. If you can't determine your team, I will put you on one.
So it's capped at 4?
Capped at 4.
Okay.
Yep. You guys determine who your team captain / owner, whatever you want to call them, is. Each team must have a team captain. Okay? Each team must have a team captain. And it will be determined by the team roster, not me. Okay? Once again, if you guys can't decide who you want to be your team captain, I will draw and pick one. Yes, Wade?
I got a question. So I know this is probably going to happen to a lot of the teams. So let's say we get a team, a team of 4, however many we got. What if they show up for a handful of races, then don't show up again? Do you still clarify that as a team, or?
I'm getting to that point.
Okay, my bad.
We had rules for that last year. Just we abandoned the team thing. Anyway,
I actually have a correction. I made a boo-boo. Teams of 3. We're going to allow it at 3. All right, I wrote it down right here. I thought on the paper I wrote 4, but the paper was written later than the book. So we're going to cap it at 3. Apologies, but still, nothing else has changed. 3. Same as last year, 3.
Yeah.
All right. Teams of 3. All changes made by the team during the season must be submitted to me, okay? If it's something that you need my approval on, then obviously let me know. Roster changes are allowed.
No penalties.
Hold on. I do have the right to reject any team's roster, okay? So if I don't like something you've done, if I think it's bad, which probably I'm not going to reject anyone's roster, or something you do, I do have the right to reject it. Driver absences. This will probably answer Wade's question. If a team member, I'll get it right in a minute, team member misses an event, you are allowed to have a fill-in driver. Okay, the fill-in driver will earn points for his or herself in the Drivers' Championship, but you'll also be running for the team points as well. Okay?
In other words, if you're on another team or you're a part-time guy, you will still earn your own personal driver points for the Drivers' Championship. But there's a team championship, and you will earn points for the team that you're filling in for, just like you would if you were on the team for that race.
Correct. All right. The fill-in driver must race in the normal team members that's absent. You must race in their vehicle. So if I'm the 98 truck and I miss a race and Chad fills in for me, he must race in the 98 truck. If you fill in for a team and don't race their truck, you will not be awarded team points. Okay? The fill-in driver must be approved by the commissioner, aka me. You must be approved by me in order to race. Okay? It must be approved by me. Yes, he can fill in, she can fill in, whoever must be approved. In regards to Wade's question, if you have team members start to miss races, we're going to line it up just like car numbers. If you have a team member miss 2 races in a row, they will be booted off of your team.
If you request it, right?
Do what? Sorry.
If you request it, if it's an issue, because sometimes people, people are just, they're gonna miss stuff, and
Yeah.
Like
I
if
feel like
Wade
that
has
should
to
be like.
work and he's on my team, and we arrange for a substitute, then there's no issue, right?
I feel like if it comes to that, I feel like you, Mystic, and the team captain need to get together.
Okay, we'll do if a driver misses at least 2 races, the team captain then has the option to boot them off.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go.
That's how I read that. That makes more sense.
Okay.
So if we boot somebody off, do we have to have a fill-in? What you're saying?
Because if we have a new member of your team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying, like if we get a new member, or let's say we don't get a new member, do we have to have a certain number of teammates by a certain time limit, or does that, or no?
No. Since you just lost a team member, no.
Well, if you're a 2-car team or 2-truck team, right, and then you don't want to be with that person, that creates an issue because you can't run by yourself. Can you run a substitute and still go forward without breaching the must be on a team rule?
Yes.
And then have a certain number of races to get a permanent member or name a permanent member, etc.
Yes, you can run a substitute until you find that member.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
that get you, Wade?
Yeah. I got one more thing, but I'll no big deal.
All right, switching vehicles and switching team members. Switching vehicles should have been up above. I apologize. If you switch vehicles at any point in any series, okay, you can switch vehicles, but it'll cost you 60 points. Okay, usually I don't allow people to switch vehicles in my league, but you can switch vehicles at any point during the season. It'll cost you 60 points.
Driver points only?
Driver points. Driver only points.
Because it's a personal decision, right?
Switching teams. If you switch teams without any legitimate decision, like I'm just tired of racing with these guys, I'm going to go to this team. If you switch teams without any legitimate decision or reasoning, it'll cost you 60 points.
Choose wisely.
So if I just don't like Wade and Phoenix, I can say I'm taking my 60 points and going over here with Tasik and Trey.
Leave drunk Chad at home.
Okay.
Yep. We may actually increase that.
Point.
Because there's no point in you guys team hopping. We want you guys to race with each other and learn and get better.
Yeah.
So as for teams, no more than 3. Okay. No more than 3. Everyone will be on a team. If you lose your team member, you can only fire your team member after they miss 2 straight races, okay? It's up to you guys to keep up with I'll keep up with people missing races, but you guys fire your team members after 2 straight races, so you guys have to keep up with that stuff as well, team captains, whoever you decide. Once you fire a team member, obviously you're recommended to pick up another guy. If it's a 2-car team and you lose a team member, you won't be punished. You can use a substitute until you find a new member. Does everyone understand that?
But what if you can't find one and everyone else is on a team, and you're just like sitting there alone?
I'm sure
there are other series because
I'm sure not everyone will be stacked with 3-person teams.
Okay. Gunner, you won't piss everybody off.
No.
And
maybe
somebody will take you, dude.
No,
And
like
even
the
though we
thing
have a
is,
licensing system,
yeah,
if
that's what I
you
was
have
about to
somebody
say.
who has a B license and you want to cover a race in an A license, then you would have to ask Mystic if it's okay to do that with that person with the
I
B
will even
license,
go, if
etc.,
it's such an
etc.
issue, I will even go the stretch to where if everyone is in a 3-car team and there's one man left out, I will make one 4-car team. And I'll tell you why that's not overpowered here in a second.
Well, I want to ask this: how long is your ARCA series?
17 races, so we're 16 to go.
So if it goes into your like continuing into the season, like let's say some people don't graduate from it, just try to keep them in it maybe, and we can pull from that pool for like part-time drivers and stuff, so they have a chance to maybe come up.
Well,
Yes.
there is a system in place for that anyway, but as far as substitutions, you just run it through Mystic.
Right, because
Whoever it is. But
what I'm saying is a team.
if they're already running in one of our series, then
Right.
it's a lot easier, right?
It's easier
Yes,
than you think, guys.
but what
It'll work.
I'm saying, like, if you pick me on your team, and I'm going to be there for what, probably 60%, 75% of the races because I got to work. So I'm kind of one of them that want these questions asked because I don't want to get kicked off a team because I've missed. I probably won't miss 2 in a row, but I'll probably miss. I'll be there 60% of the time.
Well,
Kind of thing.
it's like last year when I took Trey on the team, and Trey for Xfinity, and he's like, I don't want to be on the team because I'm only going to be there half the races. And then him and Kime, I think, teamed up, and they were like there for half the races. So it was like 1 week Kime was there, 1 week Trey was there. So that's okay if it's understood, it's not a problem.
Right.
So it just
All right, guys,
as long as
we're
we
moving
all
on.
communicate, it's fine.
All right, moving on. Is there any more questions on team stuff? Once again, I'm actually really excited with our team stuff, and we got one more thing we'll talk about on our team stuff once we get to the points and all that stuff. No more. Okay. All right, our penalty system. Let's talk about that.
I'm all ears.
That would be a first.
All right. Our penalty system, I feel like, is a strong subject we all need to come to Jesus on because after our playoff run last year in all of our series, it got pretty wild. It was exciting, but it was pretty wild for some.
Half of us.
Obviously, we will still have our basic penalties, which are points deduction, playoff, points deduction, disqualification, suspension, or fine. I don't know if that goes as basic, but that's what we have listed. We've always ran that system. Hopefully, nobody gets to that extreme. Hopefully, no one gets penalized at all. That'd be great. But we're still falling in that same deal there. In terms of our races, everyone knows suspensions. They could be permanent. They could be indefinite. It just depends what you do and how serious it is. As far as lap or time penalties, those are back. We only had to use these a few times last year, but lap or time penalties, if you're new to it, is something we use. If you do something in the race and we catch it after the race, you still will be penalized. It doesn't mean you got away with it. Lap or time penalties, depending on how serious it is. If it's pretty serious, we may add a few laps on. If it's something small like blending violation, we may add just a couple seconds, like 10 seconds, 20 seconds. So yeah, it's post-race. So it's more of a post-race deal, considering we go back and watch every race at the end of it, and sometimes we see a few things. So that's why we always encourage you guys, if you know you're in the wrong, make sure you know you do the right thing. I'll brag on Shady for a second, and I know he does some things that, every time he does a thing that's not correct, and he knows he's not in the right, he always, takes the blame for it. And I'm not saying he's the only one that does that, but he's just the one that I thought of real quick. But I encourage everyone to be like that. And that goes back to why we're doing 2 race directors this year, because 2 sets of eyes is better than 1. Next thing is we're doing leveled penalties this year. That's more of a stricter type penalty system, and I hope nobody ever enters this penalty system because a lot of you guys would have definitely been on this kind of deal if we'd have had it at the end of 2022. In real life, NASCAR has their level penalty systems for very strict, what's the word I'm looking for?
Increasing penalties.
Yeah, if you do something very bad, yeah. If you do something very bad, you will be punished very bad, okay? Now, I'm not trying to knock everyone out of the league, but apparently what I was doing last year wasn't working because you guys just kept doing the same thing over and over again. And by you guys, I don't mean everyone. You guys know who you are, and I'm not trying to rat you out. But we got to be better. We want everyone to be on their best behavior. We want to race hard. We want to do it the right way. We understand there's going to be penalties along the way, and it is part of it. But we don't want it to be an every race deal. It happened there in the playoffs where we got to a race and it become a talk to who's going to get penalized today, and we don't want that to happen. We want to wake up on race day and who's going to win today, who's going to race hard for the win. That's what we want to hear. We don't want to hear, oh, how many penalties is this guy going to earn today? That's how it got there at one point. So the level penalties is kind of if you get disqualified for an event, if you really break the boundaries, if you are cheating or doing something wrong, which I don't think anyone's doing, if you are aggressive driving and really just push the issue, push my buttons, if you are disobeying the rules, if you have multiple races with penalties, not just two, but kind of if we're talking 3, 4, 5, if you just can't get the hang of it, if you have multiple events with disqualifications, if you are a burden on your team, if you are just not good for your team, I know it's their prerogative to fire you and get rid of you, but if you're just being an asshole to your team members and to all of us, that's what these leveled penalties are going to be for. Okay, if you're just the ultimate dickhead, that's what I'll put it. If you're just the ultimate dick, that's what these level penalties are going to come in and be about, okay? They'll have 3 levels to each series, and each level and each series will go higher. Level 1 is kind of the small one, and level 2 is a medium, and level 3 will kind of be like you just fucked up.
Red alert.
Alright, so the truck series will be level 1. That'll be a 10 to 40 point penalty, driver penalty. Alright, you'll be deducted 1 to 5 playoff points and a 1 race suspension. Now that doesn't mean you'll get all 3 of them. That just means we have the option to pick 1 out of the 3. If you did something wrong, like really bad, that's a level 1 that justifies as a level 1. We do have the option to pick all 3 of those, but that most of the time we're not going to pick all 3 of those.
Multiple offenses usually.
So once again, the truck series level 1 penalty is a 10 to 40 point driver penalty, a 1 to 5 point playoff penalty, and a 1 race suspension. A level 2 penalty is a 40 to 75 point driver penalty, a 5 to 10 playoff point penalty, and a 2 to 3 race suspension. A level 3 penalty in the truck series, 75 to 130 point driver points penalty, a 10 to 25 point playoff penalty, and a 5 race suspension. That's for trucks. As for Xfinity, level 1, 15 to 60 driver championship points, 1 to 10 playoff points, and a 1 race suspension. Level 2, 60 to 110 driver championship points, 10 to 20 playoff points, and a 3 to 4 race suspension. Level 3, 110 to 180 180 driver championship points, 20 to 35 playoff points, and a 6 race suspension, and possibly the removal of playoff eligibility. Or fine. That was also listed in truck as well. That level 3, removal of playoff eligibility and fine.
Question.
Level 1.
Oh, never mind. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Okay. Level 1 in Cup, 20 to 75 driver championship points, 1 to 10 playoff points, and a 1 race suspension. Level 2, 75 to 130 driver championship points, 10 to 25 playoff points, and a 3 to 4 race suspension. Level 3, 130 to 200 driver championship points, 25 to 50 playoff points, a 6-race suspension, and a possibility of playoff eligibility removal, and a fine. Go ahead, Chad.
Okay, now question. So there's no probation anymore. You ain't fucking around, are you?
I can place anyone on probation. Yes, probation.
Okay,
will still
okay,
be in
okay,
effect.
We
okay,
also have
okay,
warnings
okay.
too.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll still give warnings. I'm not going to just like you breathe on someone and penalize. Yeah, I'm still
Right,
gonna
right.
be
No,
like,
I'm not saying that. I'm saying like some of the. We've all been here. You know, a lot of us has been here. Maybe me not so much last year, but going in this year, you know, some people may be like shorter leashes than others. Are we starting on the same slate? Or are we getting short
everyone starts
leashes?
on the same field
Okay,
when it's a new
okay.
season. Everyone.
Okay.
Yes, and remember these are extra, additional, heavier penalties for where they're warranted. You know, that
Right.
doesn't mean that anything else starting the beginning of the season, everybody is equal and the same.
Right.
And so
I was just asking that for the general public
but, you
because
know,
the only thing I've ever done is come up too early.
Yeah, but you do a couple things, maybe you don't get a penalty, but you get a couple warnings, and then you do
Right.
the same thing again. You know, like the fourth time or whatever it is, however the criteria, then you might get a level 1.
Yeah, if we keep telling you stop, and you do the same shit, you're going to
But
get.
it all depends, and not trying to be heavy, just trying to, it's issues that we've had in the past.
Right.
Kind of thing,
So,
and
like
how
I
to
said-
quash them if necessary.
Like I said, guys, I'm not trying to be an asshole because that's the last thing I want to be, and the last thing I want to do is penalize some people. And you guys know I'm not afraid to penalize people because I am 100% on the rule book. But I can think of 2 people off the top of my head, I'm not going to call anyone out, but 2 people that would have gotten one of them penalties because they just didn't know how to follow directions last year. But we got to do better at acting right, and I think all of us are capable of doing the right thing. And I know we're going to have good days and bad days where it just wasn't my day. I acted up, I got mad, I shouldn't have, but I don't think any of us will ever get into this. And it's just to be safe because we want to make sure this still runs as smooth as possible, and we got to be better. And I think this will do a better job of keeping us in the boundaries. Is there any more questions on that?
No, we've already created something that's nice and fancy, and you take care of like a genius. So keep taking care of it like you do.
We're just
and-
cracking down on the BS. So
Yeah.
we had way too much BS go on in the playoffs. It was a good playoffs, it was racy, but it was just a little too much BS, and we don't want any of that. As far as the appeal process has been tweaked. It's mainly the same thing, but it's been tweaked a little bit. Everyone knows I post the penalty report. If there is any, I post it right after the race results. If you do not like your penalty report, you do have 24 hours to file an appeal. Okay? So if the race results are posted at 8 p.m., you have all the way until tomorrow at 8 p.m. to file an appeal. You just say, hey, Mystic, I want to appeal my penalty. And what that means is I will go back and rewatch the clip, and that's why we encourage everyone to stream their races, because I penalized you off a clip that I saw. So if you don't have another clip for me to watch, it's going to be a 99.9% chance your appeal does not come out in your favor, because I'm just going to go back and watch the same clip that I saw. So it's good that you have a clip in your pocket to give me when you appeal. No appeals will be accepted after the 24 hours. Appeals must be submitted directly to me, and a team owner can appeal. You can appeal with your driver. That will be allowed as well. You have to come to me together. When you appeal, it will cost you 25 driver championship points. Alright, last year I think it was like 35, but this year it'll be 25. So when you appeal, it'll cost you 25 points. So if you appeal and lose, you will lose 25 points. But if you appeal and win, you don't lose any points. If you appeal...
If a driver appeals separately?
No, hold on. You don't finish.
Okay.
If you appeal and lose, you will lose 25 driver championship points and 15 team championship points. The appeal last year, all the appeals went directly through me. All the official last sayings went through me. This year, there will be a vote. There will be a voting committee consisting of those 5 people that I listed way at the beginning. I think it's me, Kyle, Phoenix, Trey, and Waylon, wide open. Us 5. All 5 of us don't have to have a saying, just at least 3 of us. So if it's me, Phoenix, and Kai, me, Waylon, and Trey, just at least 3 of us. All right, and just 3 of us have to vote. All 5 of us can vote if we want, but at least.
If it concerns one of us, then obviously that person cannot have a vote, and then we will do something different.
At least 3 of us have to vote in order for the appeal to be finalized. I do have the right to veto any saying, which I'm not going to do. I'm going to listen to all the votes. Race procedure calls are considered judgment calls, as always, so remember that, please. I'm doing my best. I'd penalize you, not because I wanted to. So, remember that. But once the appeal committee has voted, whether they voted you win or you lose, that's the official result. That's the result you live with. So just remember, if we all vote you lost, and that is what it is. You live with it. But we're doing a vote this year. I think that's the right way to go, and a lot of you guys have suggested that. So we're doing what literally you guys wanted. So we're listening. We're trying to be better. Protest. This is a rule we've always had, but we have never used it, and it's a real rule, like in real life. But if you think anyone else is cheating or doing something harmful that's illegal or whatever, then you have 15 minutes after the race to protest them. I know, whatever. We actually have this rule in place.
Didn't I try that one year?
Yeah, you tried that on Baja.
Yeah, Chad, but you actually have to have that.
Chad was fucking yelling it.
The difference between protesting and appealing. Appealing is a race control call on the track. Protesting is you think someone's using a Titan cheating. So,
he was. I'll never be denied it.
He was not.
You'll never convince me of that.
But I'll say this just to say it. Hopefully we'd never have to go through this. But protest, if you think someone is cheating or doing something illegal and they're dominating, you have 15 minutes after the race. You will put up 100 driver points, and you have to pay $50.
Oh shit!
Waylon's about to make us all go broke.
Waylon's not using the Titan. Gunnar, you were there. Phoenix, you were there. Y'all remember this shit?
Pocono truck race first season.
Yes. He looked like
the Gateway truck race that Chad went mad.
Yes, but it was the Pocono one.
But it was the Pocono one that got the attention. It was the Gateway one that I lost my temper.
God, Chad, shut up. Alright, we're going into our last topic for tonight, and then everyone can go. Points fund. Alright. This year we will be doing, obviously, a driver's points fund, a team points fund, and a manufacturer's points fund. Manufacturers is something we was doing last year, but once we suspended the team championship, we did it with the manufacturers as well. This year, we're doing a driver's championship. You guys will race for the manufacturer's title as well. The way that will work is the manufacturers... the highest finishing manufacturer in a race will get 9 points, second place will get 6, and third place will get 4. The team championship points, let me answer that last part, and I'll tell you why. If you have a 3-person team, it's not necessarily overpowered in 2. And if I have to make at least one 4-person team, it still won't be as overpowered as 2. It's still even. I'll tell you why. It still might be a little bit more like you have a better chance, but it's not necessarily overpowered. Last year, you earned points with every driver in an event with your team. Like if you all finished top 4, you got the top 4 finishing points. They were the same points as the Drivers' Championship. This year, team points will be the same as the Manufacturers' Championship. And the only way you earn team points is the highest finishing driver on your team will earn those points. Okay? They're not going to be exactly as the manufacturers, okay? But the highest finishing driver will earn points on your team. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So only one driver per race can earn points for your team. The other 2, 3 will not. That way, it'll make it about as even as possible. That way, a 4-person team isn't really that much overpowered as a 2-person team. Because a 2-person team, if you have 2 really good drivers and 4 mediocre drivers, the 2-person team can still win the team championship. Because only one person, the highest finishing team member on your team, will be earning points. Does everyone understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think that's a great way to go. I think that's the only wrong thing we did last year. The only reason we didn't end up completing it, and I think
a factor, yes.
It's going to be a lot of fun this year since we switched that. Obviously, manufacturers is going to be fun. You Fords can help the Fords and all that good stuff. Drivers' Championship, our point system, if you want to know, it'll go from 40 to 37 to 35 to 33 to 31 for 5th. 6 will get 30, and then it's just 1 point per position all the way down to last. 16th will get 20. Okay? So it's a 20-point differential from first to last, 40 to 20. If you do not transfer out of the last chance qualifier, you will get 15 points. As far as stage points goes, stage points, we're going off the real-life NASCAR stage points. So 10 if you win a stage, 1 if you finish 10th in a stage. Playoff points, 1 playoff point if you win a stage, 3 playoff points if you win a race instead of 5.
Did you make the stage points go to the top 10 or the top 5? Because that's where you left me on that.
Top 10.
Okay, so all 10 guys get a point.
Top 10. All right, so top 10 will get stage points just like real life, and playoff points, 1 for winning a stage and 3 for winning a race instead of 5. Does everyone understand that?
Mm-hmm.
We have a Rookie of the Year program. As far as rookies, none of you are rookies. So we'll got to wait for them to show up.
Bam.
But
what are the rules?
Okay, let's see. As far as our schedule, everyone should know our schedule. If you need it, let me know. If you haven't signed up for the Wix app, let me know. Is there any more questions?
What are the rules for running Rookie of the Year?
Be a rookie?
Right, but is there a Rookie of the Year, championship?
Yes, there's a Rookie of the Year championship.
So what are the qualifications? Because if no rookies start the first race, are they still eligible? So on
yes,
so forth.
yes. It's just like y'all's rules. You have to run a certain amount of regular season races. You have to do this. You have to do that. It's the same deal.
Gotcha. Is it similar to the way NASCAR does it, like top X number of finishes?
No, we don't go off playoff. It's a straightforward point system. Whoever tallies the most points.
Okay.
What's my...
That's a 100-point penalty there, Chad. Sorry.
Well, technically, if drunk Chad stays home, he's right.
Oh, damn.
All right, listen, guys. Before we wrap it up, let me just say thank you so much for being here tonight. I was hoping to finish it in an hour and a half. Just fell short of that. But for those of you that hadn't signed up for the Wix app, make sure you do that. If you have any questions, please let me know. Our points truck season will start Tuesday, February 7th. Our Xfinity season will start Thursday, February 9th, and then that Sunday, the 12th, that's when our Cup season will start. Sunday will be the first race, and after that, Friday. The full schedule, the week schedule between Speed Weeks all the way to Daytona 500 qualifying should be posted here soon. So be on the lookout for that. And like I said, I'm super pumped for this year. We just got done with our first dirt race Sunday and our first rookie race last night in the ARCA series, and that kind of fired me up as far as league season goes. We got a full schedule this year. We're going to get done a little earlier than usual. Instead of the first weekend in November, I think it's the second weekend in October. But still a full season. I hope all of you guys can make as many races as you can. I will post the start times for all the events. The Truck Series start times are already posted on the Wix app. The Xfinity and Cup are on the way. I will let you know which races will be 100% in Cup. There's only a few of them. I know Daytona, the 500, will be 100% to start the season, and then most of them after that will be 50%. There's only a handful of them. The championship race will obviously be 100%. The Xfinity races will kind of be the longest division this year. So be on the lookout for everything coming your way. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you haven't signed up in any series, let me know. Registration for our Eldor Dirt Derby will actually be out in about a month and a half. We're going to open that up here soon. More details to follow. Remember the race that me and Shady are putting on the week after the Dirt Derby, June 10th, I believe. I think it was. No, June 3rd. The week before the Dirt Derby, June 3rd. Travis Tyson 300 for the Xfinity Series. I believe we're up to almost 50 entries on that. If you haven't signed up, please get with Shady. He'll give you all the information. I really want everyone to run that race. It's going to be a big race memorial for that young man. So please be there for that one. 2 full weeks of action. We got a full season scheduled. As far as the Triple Truck Challenge and Dash for Cash goes for the trucks and Xfinity, that will be returning this year. I will let you know the races on which tracks they will be at. And that's about all. Working hard, trying to get everything done as fast as I can. So thank you guys for your patience. I really appreciate all of you guys. I know I don't get back to you as fast as I can, but that doesn't mean I'm ignoring you. I'm trying hard. So is there any last questions? All right, once again, thank you guys for being here. I'm so pumped for a great season. January 30th, the Speed Weeks. I'll let you guys know what all will be running and how we're going to do it, so stay tuned on that. Without further ado, you guys are dismissed. Thank you guys for being here. Everyone have a good week, and I will see you soon.
Stream is off. Oh, I had my stream closed. People were talking.